So we'll talk a little bit about the reflected ceiling plan or the full ceiling details. The reflected ceiling plan is a part of an overall architectural drawing. It's very important because it shows the integration of the systems that are in the ceiling. It shows the lighting, sprinklers, smoke detectors, sound system, IT, data show, anything that is connected to the ceiling. It is named because it's a mirror image of the plan. We design it on the same plan, but it is as if we are looking up. It's part of the development of architecture. We show any architectural features like decorations, false ceilings, recesses, and so forth. Lighting, HVAC, ducts and diffusers, firefighting, smoke detectors, alarms, and suppression, the sprinkler heads, any IT and security, cameras, data show, network, surveillance cameras, everything. So the reflected ceiling plans are used in conjunction with the floor plans, elevations, and sections to communicate the interior design. They provide all important information of anything related to the ceiling. The layout, the design of the ceiling, the materials, lighting, sprinklers, diffusers, grills, and anything that is related to the ceiling. This is a simple drawing that shows the architectural plan of a house, a lower floor, and this is the upper floor plan. You see, everything is simple and straightforward. We have to be very specific. The tiling of the bathroom is shown. As you see, the tiling starts from the, can you see my arrow?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. So we can have the tiling of the bathrooms, especially and kitchen, if it's 30 by 30, 20 by 20, 40 by 40, and how it is located in the different areas. This is a section. You have to have graphic scale. Written scale is misleading in computers because you can print and plot in any scale. So having a graphic scale is important. This is a reflected ceiling plan for that particular small house. So as you see, in room number 3, we have acoustical tiles, or gypsum boards, or wood, or anything. So it is divided according to that. Here we don't have false ceiling. We have lighting fixtures. We have lamps. We can also have spotlights that are focusing on specific areas like counters, stairs. It is located along the wall to give an ambience to the wall. This is another example that shows the reflected ceiling plan. As you see, you have the lighting fixtures connected to switches. You also have one part that has special ceiling design, acoustical tiles or gypsum boards in the ceiling.
Doctor, I have a question.
Yes.
If we have an exposed ceiling, do we have, how can we show it?
Nothing, it's white. It's like in this example. This is an exposed ceiling. It doesn't have acoustical tiles, it's just a ceiling. This is an acoustical tiles ceiling that has the acoustical tiles or the gypsum boards shown. This is a part that has acoustical tiles. So if you have acoustical tiles, they will show as 60 by 60. You can have gypsum boards, special design, or you can have no acoustical tiles. But in our case, I think we will all use false ceiling, either gypsum boards or acoustical tiles to cover the technical systems that are in the
Do we have to?
ceiling.
Because I have a specific style I want to follow.
What will you do with the ducts and lighting and firefighting?
Exposed. All of it is exposed, only painted.
Okay, Alice, it's up to you if you prefer that. We usually do that in مثلا shops. You can do that, Bardo, in some offices if it's a مثلا studio, architectural studio, or something like that. But if it's a lawyer's office or a physician's office or someone who is in business, it's usually preferable to have a full ceiling. This is another example that shows the lighting and its distribution and different types. You can have square, you can have spotlights, you can have linear lights, and so forth. So these are examples of false ceilings or reflected ceiling plans that show the lighting distribution. So you need to think about the design of the ceiling itself. How does it relate to the furniture that you have? So you can have different types of lighting in the ceiling. This is, for example, a reflected ceiling plan that shows the dimensions of the gypsum boards all over the place, covering all the technical systems, the firefighting, the lighting, and all the embedded systems. This
Doctor,
is another
question, please. Sorry.
Yes. Go ahead.
You said we're not responsible for the furniture plans at this stage. So do we have to do it before we make the ceiling plans?
Yes, of course. You have to do the furniture for the part that you are designing now, so that your lighting relates to the furniture.
Okay.
If you have an office, you need to put some more lighting on the desk space or the reception space. The lighting is always related to the furniture. So you need to develop part of your design into reflected ceiling. Some of you asked about the toilet design. So this is what we usually go for. There is a duct or a chassis between the two systems. between the two rooms of the bathrooms, males and females, and they contain all the pipes, and it has access door so that someone can go in and fix any problems with the piping. So this is part of the stair design is important. This is a typical acoustical tiles detail. And as you see, we have the piping going above. We have the all the connections and wires, and we have the false ceiling covering the whole space or the whole ceiling with acoustical tiles. So we have to think about how can we have a maximum number of complete tiles and have the minimum number of incomplete tiles so that we don't waste material. This is an interior space. You see the acoustical tiles. Lighting is distributed in the false ceiling. They also have firefighting and fire alarms in the ceiling that are embedded because you can have the system that is embedded in the ceiling, and it comes down when there is a problem. These are some details. Are you all following me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So these are some details to show you the connections and how the false ceiling is implemented. You can have many types of materials, plastics, aluminum, copper, acoustical tiles, many kinds of materials that you can use to cover the ceiling. Yeah. So the tiles are rotated, and then they go above and they rest on the T-channel of the suspensions. Yeah. I will show you an example. You can have some false ceilings in many different shapes. It doesn't have to be any straight line. These are details, technical details of the pieces and elements that are needed. You can have light strips. You can have some recessed parts of the false ceiling with recessed light strips in them. So you can be very innovative in the design of the false ceiling. It doesn't have to be one straight line. So you can also depend on the indirect light or the hidden light. You can have different shapes, materials for special treatments of acoustics and stuff like that. These are also details of connections between partitions and ceiling. So if you have light partitions fixed in the roof, and then the ceiling is connected to it. This is one shape of connection of glass. As we said, you need to think about how the connection of the tiles will look like. Will it be this shape or this shape, and so forth. So this is how the electricity distribution and is fixed in the ceiling. When you make a false ceiling of gypsum boards, you have to provide service access. So someone can open the ceiling and reach for a maintenance. Many people forget to do that, and after the ceiling is constructed, they need to get in to fix some problems, so they have to make any openings randomly. You can have different shapes, different sizes, different materials. You can have embedded light strips in the ceiling. It depends on your design. How do you design the ceiling itself? You can have the air conditioning provided from the ceiling ends, so you can open here and provide the air from the ends here. When you have gypsum boards, these are gypsum boards fixed to a mesh of aluminum beams, and the gypsum board is connected to them. So it's a fixation of the full ceiling. So it depends on how you design the ceiling. There is no restriction. Using acoustical tiles or gypsum boards does not limit the design creativity at all. You can have different shapes, different designs, different features. You can have spotlights, chandeliers, everything. So the design can be anything you want. The important consideration is to conserve the material, use as much as possible complete pieces, and reduce the number of incomplete pieces. طبعا the acoustical tiles, they are very easy to open and close and access any part of the ceiling to fix or maintain anything there. So just you push the tile up and move it to open the ceiling. طبعا as Ghalia was talking or Reem was talking, we can have different ceilings in the same space. We can have part as gypsum boards with spotlights. We can have another part as acoustical tiles or another material, aluminum, whatever. We can have recesses for the fire fighting, fire suppression, hood coming from the ceiling. We can have different types of lighting, spotlights or lighting fixtures hanging from the ceiling. So you can create any shape, any design that you want in the ceiling. If it's a VIP office, you might need to do something special in the design. If it's a residential or home, you also can provide different lighting fixtures, different atmosphere. You can have wood, you can have recessed lighting like this for you can have very, very different types of lighting design. So it does not limit you. It's a technical issue that you need to resolve to get what you want in the ceiling design. So you can have different levels, different types of lighting. Depending on the room use. All these are,
So
yes.
I have a question. If we have wood flooring, how can we draw it? ولا عادي مثل بس بنحط dimensions؟
لا خلاص, you put the dimensions وبعدين you can show detail. Is it يعني HDF or parquet or wooden floor, linear. You can also show a detail of how the pattern is done. يعني is it 45 degrees? Is it 7/8? Or يعني what kind of design do you want for that floor?
Okay, sure.
So these are different pictures of false ceilings or يعني that can be designed in any way you want. It's very flexible. You just need to think about it. Think about what do you want, what atmosphere do you want to provide in that particular place. Yeah.